Picture yourself standing in the bread aisle of your local grocery store. Rows of loaves line the shelves. Soft white bread, whole wheat, gluten-free, sprouted grain. They all look harmless, even healthy. But here's what most people never realize. Some of those loaves could quietly be cutting years off your life. Sounds hard to believe, right? Yet, research following tens of thousands of older adults for more than 20 years found that choosing the right kind of bread can nearly cut your risk of heart disease in half and extend your lifespan by over 7 years. Just from one small habit, your morning bread. That means the slice you eat with your coffee each day could be shaping how you live. Sluggish and tired, or strong, sharp, and independent. And that's exactly what this video is about. The 4 breads you should never eat after 60, and the 4 breads you should eat daily to keep your heart healthy, your joints flexible, and your mind clear. Before we dive in, I have one quick request. If you enjoy practical, science-based health advice that's easy to follow and full of real inspiration, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Not for the numbers, but because this channel is built for people who believe that life after 60 isn't about slowing down. It's about living smarter, stronger, and with more energy than ever. Stay with me until the end, because the best bread for people over 60, the one that can boost memory, ease joint pain, and even help you live longer, might already be sitting on a shelf in your local supermarket. Now, let's start with the first bread to avoid. Number 1. White bread. We all know white bread. Soft, fluffy, comforting. A breakfast staple for generations. But what many don't realize is that after 60, that innocent loaf can quietly become one of the biggest enemies to your heart, brain, and energy. When wheat flour is refined to make white bread, nearly all of the bran and germ, where the fiber, B vitamins, iron, magnesium, and antioxidants live, are stripped away. What's left is pure starch that digests as quickly as sugar. Within minutes, your blood sugar can spike just like it would after eating candy, only to crash soon after, leaving you tired, hungry, and craving more. After 60, your body doesn't regulate blood sugar as efficiently. These repeated spikes and drops overwork your pancreas and increase the risk of insulin resistance, the first step toward type 2 diabetes. Constantly high blood sugar also damages blood vessels, triggers inflammation, and clouds your memory, making you feel foggy and sluggish. A large study published in Diabetes Care found that older adults who ate white bread daily had a 46% higher risk of developing diabetes and experienced 33% faster memory decline compared to those who chose whole grains. That's not a small number. That's a serious warning. Because white bread isn't really food anymore. It's empty starch flooding your bloodstream. Without fiber, white bread also fails to feed the good bacteria in your gut, your body's natural defense system for immunity and digestion. When those bacteria die off, chronic inflammation rises. The result? Constipation, fatigue, and even mood swings. That soft loaf on your breakfast table may be quietly draining your vitality every single day. Then there's the so-called enriched flour you see on labels. It sounds healthy, but it's not. Manufacturers simply spray synthetic vitamins back into the flour after stripping away all the real nutrients. Your body absorbs little of it, while the empty starch continues to disrupt your metabolism. And when your energy supply isn't steady, you start to feel it. Midday fatigue, irritability, loss of focus. Those tiny warning signs are your body's way of saying, "This bread is spiking your sugar like a roller coaster." When you were younger, your system could recover. After 60, every swing in blood sugar adds strain your body doesn't need. If you still love the soft texture of white bread, don't worry. You don't have to give it up completely. Just pair it with protein or fiber like eggs, tuna, or almond butter to slow down sugar absorption. But don't make it a daily habit. At this age, even a small reduction can make a big difference. Remember, white bread isn't harmful because of its taste, but because it's been stripped of what makes wheat truly nourishing. After 60, your body craves nutrients, not empty carbs. Every slice you choose either fuels your heart, brain, and energy, or quietly chips away at them. Choose wisely, and you'll feel the difference every single day. Number 2. Sweet breads and pastries. That smell of fresh pastries in the morning, it's hard to resist. A slice of banana bread, a soft muffin, or a warm waffle feels harmless, even comforting. But after 60, these sweet morning treats can turn into silent sugar bombs that chip away at your health every single day. Most sweet breads and pastries are made from a dangerous trio: refined white flour, processed sugar, and cheap industrial oils. Together, they cause blood sugar to spike fast, then crash, leaving you tired, hungry, and prone to storing fat. After 60, your pancreas and insulin response slow down, so every sharp swing in blood sugar is like a small storm inside your body, straining your heart, brain, and joints. A study published in The Lancet found that older adults who ate pastries at least 4 times per week had a 40% higher risk of metabolic syndrome, a combination of high blood pressure, high blood sugar, and high LDL cholesterol. That trio is the fast lane to heart disease, diabetes, and stroke. The 3 most common threats to longevity. The sugar in these pastries also triggers the formation of AGEs, advanced glycation end products, compounds that stiffen tissues, break down collagen, and speed up aging from the inside out. They make your skin wrinkle faster and your joints lose flexibility. Meanwhile, refined soybean and palm oils used in commercial baking release harmful free radicals when heated, fueling chronic inflammation. The result? Achy joints, slower recovery, restless sleep, all from that harmless morning pastry. If you often feel drowsy or crave more coffee after a sweet breakfast, that's the blood sugar roller coaster at work, a quick rush followed by a hard crash. Over time, it drains your energy, dulls your memory, and messes with your mood. There's nothing wrong with enjoying something sweet, but after 60, every extra spoonful of sugar is a small step backward for your health. Instead of cutting out sweets entirely, get smarter about them. Bake your own treats with whole wheat or oat flour, and use ripe bananas or a drizzle of honey for natural sweetness. Pair them with Greek yogurt, nuts, or a boiled egg to slow sugar absorption. And remember, pastries should be an occasional treat, not a daily habit. After just a few weeks of cutting back on sugar, you'll notice the difference: steadier energy, less joint pain, deeper sleep, and sharper focus. Your body doesn't need a miracle. It just needs fewer sugary distractions. So the next time you're standing in front of the bakery counter, pause and ask yourself, is this pastry giving me energy or taking it away? That one question could change not just your morning, but years of your life ahead. Number 3. Potato bread. To many people, potato bread sounds healthier than white bread. Potatoes are vegetables. It must be better for you, right? Unfortunately, that's not true. Most potato breads sold today are just white bread in disguise: soft, sweet, and packed with fast-digesting starch. Real potatoes, when cooked properly, are nutrient-rich, full of potassium, vitamin C, and fiber. But in commercial potato bread, those benefits vanish. Instead of real mashed potatoes, manufacturers use potato starch or potato flakes mixed with refined flour, sugar, and oil to make the bread fluffy and golden. The result? a loaf that actually spikes blood sugar faster than regular white bread. When blood sugar spikes, your body releases insulin to bring it down. But after 60, that process becomes less efficient. Constant high insulin encourages your body to store fat, especially belly fat, the most dangerous kind, because it wraps around internal organs and raises the risk of heart disease, stroke, and cognitive decline. Many people wonder why their waistline grows even when they don't eat much, and the culprit could be a few innocent-looking slices of potato bread each morning. A 2021 study in the Journal of Geriatric Cardiology found that seniors who ate potato bread 3 or more times a week had a 37% higher risk of insulin resistance. When that happens, the energy from your food isn't used properly. You feel tired, crave sugar, and slowly gain weight. Over time, that's the straight road to type 2 diabetes. What's worse, many potato breads contain 2 to 3 teaspoons of added sugar per slice to make them taste slightly sweet and golden. Combined with refined starch, that's a double hit. Sugar spikes your blood, starch keeps it high. You might feel a burst of energy after breakfast, then a wave of fatigue or lightheadedness an hour later. For older adults, that constant fluctuation not only causes fatigue, but can also blur short-term memory and focus. Another hidden issue: nutrient deficiency. Compared to whole grain bread, potato bread has almost no magnesium or potassium, minerals vital for steady heartbeat, muscle strength, and nerve balance. When they're lacking, you may experience irregular blood pressure, cramps, weakness, and unexplained fatigue, even if you're eating on schedule. If you love the soft, mildly sweet flavor of potato bread, you don't have to give it up. Just make it smarter. Try making it at home with real boiled potatoes blended into whole grain flour. That way, you keep the potassium and fiber while lowering the bread's glycemic index. Adding flaxseed or oats will make it denser, easier to digest, and more nourishing. When buying ready-made, check the label. If the first ingredient says enriched wheat flour or potato starch, put it back. Look instead for whole wheat flour or whole grain, and the less sugar, the better. That small label check can be your first line of defense for long-term health. After 60, your body can't bounce back from dietary mistakes like it used to. The wrong loaf can leave you drained all day, but the right one can keep your mind sharp and your heartbeat steady. Potato bread isn't the enemy. Industrial processing is. Recognize that difference. Make one small change, and your body will thank you every morning. Number 4. Gluten-free white bread. These days, many people believe gluten-free bread is the healthier choice, especially older adults who struggle with bloating or digestion. But the truth is, most gluten-free white breads are even worse than regular white bread. They're a perfect example of a trendy diet done wrong. Originally, this bread was created for people with celiac disease, those who truly can't tolerate gluten. But to replace gluten, manufacturers use a mix of fast-absorbing starches like white rice flour, potato starch, tapioca, or corn flour. All of these are pure carbohydrates, almost completely stripped of fiber and protein. Once eaten, they spike your blood sugar as fast as drinking a glass of sugar water. A study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that older adults who ate gluten-free white bread every day experienced blood sugar spikes over 50% higher than those eating whole grain bread. Their LDL bad cholesterol also rose significantly within months. For anyone over 60, that constant blood sugar roller coaster is dangerous. It drains your energy, clouds your memory, and fuels chronic inflammation. It gets worse. Most gluten-free breads rely on artificial binders like xanthan gum or gar gum to hold their texture. These can leave some people feeling bloated, gassy, or heavy after meals. Combined with the lack of fiber, This imbalance can slow digestion and upset the gut microbiome, the very system your immune health depends on. And here's another big problem. These breads are nearly devoid of nutrients. No B vitamins, iron, magnesium, or zinc, the very elements that keep your heart steady, your muscles strong, and your mind sharp. Without them, fatigue, poor sleep, and lack of focus become more common. That's why many people switch to gluten-free, hoping to feel better, yet end up weaker and more tired than before. Unless you've been diagnosed with celiac disease, there's no reason to cut gluten entirely. Natural whole grains that contain gluten are packed with fiber, protein, and steady energy for the heart, brain, and digestion. Gluten itself isn't the problem. Refined starch is. If you truly need to avoid gluten, choose breads made from whole gluten-free grains like quinoa, buckwheat, brown rice, or millet. These digest more slowly, stabilize blood sugar, and nourish healthy gut bacteria. Always check the label. If the first ingredient says starch, rice flour, or tapioca, put it back. After 60, what your body needs isn't a gluten-free label, it's real nutrition and consistent energy. Don't be fooled by marketing. Sometimes the foods that look healthiest are the ones quietly wearing your body down. The right slice of bread can fuel longevity. The wrong one can slowly steal the health you've spent a lifetime building. After hearing about those 4 danger breads, you might be wondering, so, what kind of bread can I eat every day without worrying about my health? Here's the good news. Not all bread is bad. In fact, some are powerfully good for you. Choose wisely, and a single slice can be as nourishing as a balanced meal. Let's start with the first one. The bread that quite literally brings life back to your body. Number 1. Sprouted grain bread. If white bread is food that's lost its life, then sprouted grain bread is the opposite. It's living grain brought back to life. Instead of using dry ground flour, this bread is made from whole grains like wheat, oats, or lentils that have been soaked and allowed to sprout naturally before baking. That process changes everything, especially for people over 60. When a grain begins to sprout, natural enzymes wake up and start breaking down starches and proteins into forms that are easier to digest. That means sprouted bread feels lighter, absorbs better, and doesn't cause bloating. For a slower digestive system, that's a major benefit. You get steady energy without discomfort. A 2023 study from UCLA found that adults over 65 who ate sprouted grain bread for 8 weeks had 30% higher absorption of iron and magnesium and significantly less bloating and indigestion. Sprouting also reduces phytic acid, the compound that blocks mineral absorption, by up to 80%. As a result, each slice not only gives energy, but also helps strengthen bones, muscles, and nerves. Another major perk, its glycemic index is low, around 35 to 40, compared to 75 for white bread and 50 for standard whole wheat. That means energy is released slowly, without the sugar spikes and crashes that cause fatigue or cravings. Seniors who eat sprouted bread in the morning often report clearer focus and steadier energy throughout the day. It's also rich in vitamins B and C, both essential for metabolism, brain health, and immune function. Sprouting increases vitamin C 5 to 6-fold and boosts B6 and folate naturally, nutrients many older adults lack. Plus, sprouted grains produce special plant compounds called benzoxazinoids, which act as natural anti-inflammatories. Studies from Germany found that seniors who regularly ate sprouted bread had 20% lower inflammation markers compared to those eating conventional bread. Sprouted bread is denser, nuttier, and more flavorful than white bread. Toast it lightly, and you'll get a crisp crust and a chewy, satisfying bite. It pairs beautifully with almond butter, cottage cheese, eggs, or smoked salmon. perfect balance of protein, healthy fats, and slow carbs for a long, steady morning. Because it's free from preservatives, sprouted bread is usually stored frozen. Just pop a slice straight into the toaster. It stays fresh, crisp, and nutrient-rich. It may cost a little more, but think of it as an investment in your long-term health. One good loaf can support your heart rhythm, mental clarity, and joint mobility day after day. Sprouted grain bread isn't a modern health fad. It's a return to the ancient, natural way of making bread, now backed by science. After 60, when your digestion, heart, and muscles all need support, this is one of the most complete and nourishing breads you can eat. Choosing it means fueling your body with real, living food. Slow, pure, and full of life. Number 2. Authentic sourdough bread. Among all types of bread, there's one that has stood the test of time: the classic sourdough. It's been around for thousands of years and is still considered one of the healthiest kinds of bread ever made. Not just because of its tangy flavor, but because of how it's made, in a way that helps your body, especially after 60, digest and absorb nutrients far better than regular bread. Unlike commercial loaves made with quick-rise yeast, authentic sourdough is naturally fermented using a starter, a live culture of wild yeast and friendly bacteria. The fermentation process takes hours, sometimes a full day, allowing the dough to pre-digest. During this time, gluten breaks down, phytic acid drops, and minerals become easier for your body to absorb. The result? A loaf that's flavorful, satisfying, and gentle on even the most sensitive stomach. For older adults, that's a huge advantage. As we age, stomach acid production decreases and digestion slows. Sourdough's natural fermentation helps reduce bloating, heaviness, and indigestion. A study from the University of Toronto found that people over 60 who ate sourdough bread had 40% lower post-meal blood sugar levels compared to those eating regular whole wheat. That means steadier energy, sharper focus, and fewer crashes throughout the day. But the benefits go beyond digestion. Sourdough also nourishes your gut microbiome, the ecosystem of good bacteria that makes up about 70% of your immune system. During fermentation, natural prebiotics are formed, food for those good bacteria. When your gut flora thrives, your body absorbs nutrients better, fights inflammation, and even improves mood. In that sense, one slice of sourdough in the morning can feel like a small, natural vitamin for your gut. Authentic sourdough has a light tang, a crisp crust, and a chewy interior. It keeps you full longer without feeling heavy, making it a great choice for managing weight or blood sugar. Its natural acids also help preserve B vitamins and key minerals like magnesium, essential for a steady heartbeat and relaxed muscles. When buying, pay attention. Not all sourdough is real sourdough. Many store-bought loaves only add vinegar or artificial sour flavoring and use commercial yeast instead of live starter cultures. Look for simple ingredients: flour, water, salt, and naturally fermented or wild yeast starter on the label. Sourdough pairs beautifully with eggs, avocado, smoked salmon, or roasted vegetables, creating a balanced, heart-healthy breakfast. And if you enjoy baking, try making your own. It takes patience, but that slow fermentation is exactly what gives sourdough its soul. A living loaf that breathes, nourishes, and heals. After 60, sourdough is more than food. It's a friend to your gut and your heart. Each crisp, warm slice carries a reminder. Sometimes the healthiest way forward is to go back to simple, natural, slow-made food, just like this timeless bread. Number 3. Rye bread. If you've ever visited Northern Europe, You've probably seen people eating rye bread almost every day. And it's no coincidence they have some of the lowest rates of heart disease in the world. Rye bread is often called the natural shield of the heart, protecting blood sugar, cholesterol, and digestion. Three pillars of good health after 60. Made from whole grain rye flour, this bread is rich in a special kind of soluble fiber called arabinoxylan. This fiber slows the absorption of both sugar and fat in the gut, keeping blood sugar steady and LDL bad cholesterol down. That means stable energy instead of sugar crashes. For older adults, that's priceless. It helps prevent midday fatigue and those sudden waves of hunger that push you toward snacks. A study from the Finnish Institute of Nutrition found that older adults who ate rye bread at least 4 times per week had 18% lower LDL cholesterol and significantly lower blood pressure compared to those who ate white bread. Rye also contains lignans, powerful plant antioxidants that reduce inflammation and protect blood vessel cells from oxidative stress. Rye bread also supports healthy digestion. Its high fiber content stimulates bowel movement and helps prevent constipation, a common concern for seniors. The unique fibers in rye feed beneficial gut bacteria, improving nutrient absorption and reducing intestinal inflammation. When your digestion works well, your body naturally absorbs calcium, iron, and magnesium more efficiently, essential nutrients for strong bones and muscles. Despite containing carbs, rye bread helps with weight control because it keeps you full longer. The soluble fiber absorbs water and forms a gel in your stomach, doubling the feeling of fullness compared to white bread. That's why many experts call it the endurance bread. Taste-wise, rye is dense, hearty, and slightly tangy, with a rich, earthy aroma. Toast it, and you'll notice its distinctive grainy scent, simple yet satisfying. A slice of rye, topped with smoked salmon, boiled egg, or low-fat cheese, makes a perfect high-fiber, high-protein, low-sugar breakfast for anyone over 60. Just make sure you're getting the real thing. Many rye blend loaves are mostly white flour dyed with caramel coloring. Look for labels that say 100% whole rye flour or whole grain rye. And if possible, choose naturally fermented rye, sourdough rye, for better digestion and mineral absorption. Rye bread proves that lasting health doesn't come from trendy foods. It comes from the time-tested ones our ancestors trusted. After 60, every slice of real rye is like a gentle daily medicine for your heart and blood sugar. Keep it in your diet a few times a week, and you'll feel the difference. A steadier heart, a clearer mind, and a body that feels truly alive. Number 4. 100% whole grain seeded bread. If there's a true king in the world of bread, it's this one. 100% whole grain seeded bread. It combines hearty whole grains with powerhouse seeds like chia, flax, sunflower, pumpkin, and sesame, creating a complete ecosystem of nutrients that's especially beneficial for people over 60. What makes it stand out is simple. Every grain in the loaf still has its bran and germ, the part packed with vitamins B and E, iron, magnesium, and natural fiber. That means your body digests it slowly, keeping your blood sugar stable, your hunger satisfied, and your fat storage low. The added seeds provide omega-3 fatty acids, the anti-inflammatory fats that feed your heart and brain. Just 2 slices a day can deliver nearly 20% of your daily magnesium and zinc, minerals vital for strong muscles and deep restorative sleep. A long-term Harvard study following more than 70,000 older adults found that those who ate whole grains daily had a 22% lower risk of premature death than those who ate them less than once a week. Why? Because the fiber and healthy fats in breads like this lower bad cholesterol, regulate blood pressure, and keep arteries flexible. All key factors for longevity after 60. But it's not just your heart that benefits. Whole grain seeded bread also protects memory and mental focus. The omega-3s and vitamin E in flax, chia, and sesame seeds reduce neural inflammation and guard brain cells against oxidation. Seniors who eat these breads regularly tend to have sharper memory and less brain fog after meals. It also outperforms most breads in digestion. Soluble fiber feeds the good bacteria in your gut, while insoluble fiber helps move waste naturally, easing constipation, a common issue with age. That light, comfortable feeling after eating? That's your digestive system thanking you. When buying, always read the label. Make sure it clearly says 100% whole grain or 100% whole wheat as the first ingredient. Don't be fooled by multigrain. Most of those are just a mix of refined flours with a bit of coloring. Choose loaves that visibly contain real seeds, are low in sugar, and free of unnecessary additives. The flavor of whole grain seeded bread is nutty, crisp, and fragrant. Toast it, and the aroma of roasted grains and seeds fills the air. Pair it with nut butter, eggs, smoked salmon, or roasted vegetables. It's not just breakfast. It's a small act of nourishment that feeds both body and mind. After 60, your body doesn't need light and easy food. It needs real food that sustains. Whole grain seeded bread is exactly that. A small loaf with big strength. It keeps your heart steady, your mind clear, your digestion smooth, and your energy lasting. Every slice is a step, small but steady, toward living stronger, happier, and longer. Now you've seen it clearly. Not all loaves are created equal. Some quietly drain your strength and vitality, while others, the right ones, can nourish your heart, protect your memory, and keep you thriving every day. After 60, good health doesn't come from big, drastic changes. It comes from small choices, repeated daily. The kind of bread you eat, how you start your morning, whether you take a moment to read the label. Each choice may seem small, but together they can shape the next chapter of your life. Let breakfast be more than a habit. Let it be a gift to your body. Choosing the right bread means choosing energy, clarity, and quality of life. And whether you're 60, 70, or 80, it's never too late to start caring for yourself through the simplest of decisions. If this video gave you something new to think about, or inspired you to make a small change, share your thoughts in the comments below. Tell us which bread you love, or what you plan to try next. I read every comment, because your stories are what keep our strong seniors community growing. And if you want more practical, uplifting advice to live healthy, happy, and long, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Not for the numbers, but so you'll always have a companion on this journey toward stronger, more joyful golden years. Remember, getting older isn't the end of vitality. It's a new chapter of it. And every great chapter begins with one simple choice. Sometimes as simple as choosing the right loaf each morning.